Hello and welcome to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. Our goal is to highlight people in our community along with local organizations who are striving to make Philadelphia a better place. We're focusing on our next generation of leaders. Today our guests are from Philadelphia City Rowing, a nonprofit founded in 2010 to empower the city's young people through sport of rowing. This organization offers students in grades 7 through 12 academic services, nutrition, education, and supportive mentoring in addition to its athletic program. Their mission is to improve our youth's academic ability, health, and personal development. Here to tell us more about Philadelphia City Rowing is Executive Director Caitlin Mance and Community Outreach Manager George Rowley. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Glad to be here.
How did this organization get started?
So PCR was started in 2010 in response to the state of the school district and the lack of opportunities for a lot of kids in our public schools. So underfunding, cutting after school sports and activities, and sort of low academic outcomes as well. And Philadelphia happens to be the birthplace of American rowing, and so there's a deep history of that sport here, and so it made sense to kind of harness the proven powers of sport to improve those sort of other things going on with the schools.
You started in 2010. How has it grown since 2010?
So a lot. We've doubled in size since then, and we started with just our high school program, and since then we've added a middle school program so that we can reach kids earlier in their development of healthy habits. And we've added a lot of additional supports like the nutrition education and environmental ed that you talked about as well.
George, how did you get involved in the program?
Oh, wow. Well, previously to moving back to Philadelphia a year ago, I was in Florida. We started a nonprofit in Orlando, Florida called Hope Dealing Mindset. And so when I moved back to Philadelphia, I wanted to kind of maintain that spirit of service, bring that back to the community that kind of birthed me, born and raised in Philadelphia. So I wanted to kind of impact the youth, and I noticed that PCR, we had the same mission, whereas basically kind of empowering the youth, helping them reach their full potential. And so I wanted definitely to kind of align with that as well.
Who exactly do you target?
So our program is open to all Philadelphia public and charter school students, but we noticed the state of the school district right now, there's a disparity when it comes to resources being provided to students. And that disparity ranges in different neighborhoods and different schools. So what we wanted to do was kind of fill that resource gap. And some of the resources that are lacking in schools are after-school programs, even guidance counselors, full-time guidance counselors, as well as academic support and school sports. So we wanted to kind of fill in that resource gap in different areas where we feel like the students need that the most, where we can be of much service.
Great. Are there any requirements?
Yes, the only requirement that we do have for our students or student athletes is for them to attend a Philadelphia public or a charter school. We do request that they come with a positive attitude, but if not, we can still work with that.
Great. So what do you do about the lack of a positive attitude?
Determination. It's hard. You come with kindness, basically.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What specific programs do you offer?
So we have 3 programs currently. We have our high school program, which is the flagship program that's 6 days a week and the very intensive one. And then we have a middle school program that is only 3 days a week and a summer learn to row camps that are about 2 weeks. And so both the middle school and the summer camps are meant to bring kids into rowing and get them exposed to it in like a more fun and relaxed way.
Great. 3 programs. Do they all take place in the same location?
We have 2 locations. We have a land location at 2700 and Girard, or 27th and Girard. And that's where we do our academic and land training stuff. So in the winter when we're off the water, we're up there. And then the rest of the year we're down at our boatyard, which is right on Boathouse Row at Lloyd Hall.
Nice. Who helps you teach? It can't be just you and George, right?
No, we have a team of very talented coaches who help run the program.
And you recruit them?
Yes, so we recruit our coaches. You know, rowing historically has lacked quite a bit of diversity at the national level, and so we found it best to kind of balance between finding coaches who are heavy hitters in rowing and like
Right.
have that background, and then developing coaches from within who can represent our target community and the kids in Philadelphia. So we do a little bit of like growing coaches, and then as George said, we have a guidance counselor on staff. We have a coach with a master's in physiology, and so we really try to balance those two things.
You are a nonprofit. How do you get funding? Donations?
Yes, so we're completely privately funded through the generosity of wonderful people in the city and local foundations.
Great. And what type of experience do the students get from your program?
I think it depends from kid to kid, but we like to think that they learn a lot about themselves and just eventually kind of feel empowered to do whatever it is they want. So we try to give them the skills that they need later in life to be able to achieve those things. So like we'll do goal setting with them. We will work with them on SATs. You know, it teaches them about communication and time management, having to show up and not have mom or dad be the one talking to the coaches.
Right.
So we try to teach them a lot of life skills through the sport, so that they can be successful later on.
George, what made you want to work with the program?
Well, like I said before, previously to moving back to Philadelphia, I was in Orlando, Florida for about 4 years, starting a nonprofit there. And working with a college friend, we founded Hope Dealing Mindset. And essentially what we did was a lot of charitable work in the greater Orlando community. Turkey drives, toy drives, things of that nature. And I saw the impact that it had, and I kind of wanted to share that with the community that I was raised in, born and raised in. And so it's been a blessing to be able to come back and share some of that service, that spirit of service to the youth of my neighborhood.
So if you had to sell the program, here's your chance for your elevator speech. What would you tell the students about why it's important to join your program and what type of benefits they're going to get from joining your program?
Great. Well, essentially, it sounds kind of cheesy, but I would say people come for the rowing, but they stay for the friendships that they make.
Right.
Practice for the high school team is 6 days a week, so you spend a lot of time with the same people. You're on the water a lot, you're training a lot, so there's a lot of time to build camaraderie and chemistry. And so practice kind of offers a safe haven from school, from home, whatever's going on. For 2 hours, you can just come and just forget about everything and just be on the water, and it's very therapeutic on the water as well.
Right.
It's non-traditional sport, obviously, but it's kind of fun, and just have fun.
Caitlin, what's your elevator speech?
George is the one who pitches to the kids. I tend to pitch to the parents and funders. So I
Great.
would say I talk more about the academic outcomes,
Mhm.
SAT prep, those kind of things. But I think for the kids to just come try something new, and you never know what you're going to get. Like, it's awesome to just be on the middle of the river and like have that view of the city, and it's a view that you don't get very often. So I think it can really open your eyes to what's out there and what the rest of the city and the world has to offer.
So are you a rower or you just teach rowing?
I am a rower, or have been previously a rower.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So what made you get into rowing?
I started rowing in my junior year of high school after I stopped swimming.
Okay.
Was looking for a different sport, and then was recruited to college. I rowed in college, and then for about 10 years in Boston before coming to Philly.
What college?
I went to Cornell.
Nice school. And George, you got into rowing how?
I was a camp counselor my freshman year in college at a rowing camp at Lloyd Hall, which is where our boathouse or boatyard is, and kind of got involved that way, giving back to the youth,
Right.
finding my way back to the youth again, and just being a camp counselor and teaching them how to row, and that's kind of how I got introduced to the sport. So it was kind of a non-traditional way to get introduced to a non-traditional sport.
Right. What college?
Morgan State, go
Okay,
Bears.
nice. Two good colleges.
Yeah.
And I know you stress college to the youth that you mentor and teach. Do you find that challenging, or do you see that after they come to your program, they're more apt or excited about going to college?
We try really hard to make sure our kids have a plan,
Right.
post-secondary education. So if it's training and they want to be an HVAC tech, or they want to go into plumbing or whatever it is, that's fine with us, so long as they have a plan for their future.
Right.
I think we do definitely want kids that want to go to college, but if that's not going to be the most economical choice for them in the long run, we're not trying to
enforce
push
it.
that as long as they have a plan.
I think that's important too, because we kind of think that everybody wants to go to college, so it is good to have a plan.
Yep.
What about you, George? How do you go about helping them make that decision?
Just basically getting to know them on an individual basis. Excuse me. And just talking to them, asking them what their goals are. I also run a middle school program, and so it was very important to me to kind of start the goal setting stage at an early age,
Right.
so they can start thinking about things in a bigger picture. And for some, college is the goal. For some, getting out of Philly is the goal.
Right, right.
So really, it depends on what their individual needs are and helping them fulfill their potential.
And we have a full-time guidance counselor on staff with us, and so she is awesome. She works at Upper Darby by day and does college and career counseling there, and so she's able to come in with our kids and help them work through all sorts of, like, is their FAFSA going to work, and like what is the best choice for them in the long run? How are they going to make the best choices to set themselves up for success later on?
Great. Well, thank you for coming on the show and sharing the information, and I look forward to hearing about great things later.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll meet some of the young people involved with Philadelphia City Rowing. Please stay with us.
When you miss an episode of Q&A, you get hungry. When you get hungry, you don't know what to eat. When you don't know what to eat, you get irritable. When you get irritable, you miss questions on your exam. Don't miss questions on your exam. Watch Q&A on LaSalle TV.
According to the Mayo Clinic, exercising has stress-busting benefits by bumping up your endorphins and improving your mood.
The sun of fire and beauty, destruction and life. Something so magnificent you can't even look at it. My sun of fire and passion, life until death. Something so magnificent you can't look away. Maybe because we don't look at the sun, we are afraid that we might not be able to let go of the beauty that just might end up destroying us.
Welcome back to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. Today, we're featuring Philadelphia City Rowing, an organization that uses the sport of rowing to also encourage local students to improve their academic performance and overall health. In this portion of the show, we'll meet two young people, or actually three young people, who have rowed with PCR. Please welcome PCR alum and coach Mai Hart, PCR student athletes Juliana Rogers and Sada Mander. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Mai, you started in high school.
Yes.
Just tell us about your experience with PCR.
So I first found out about PCR when one of my friends at lunch was just hearing me talk about the sports that I've played, and then he was like, I bet you can't do rowing. And I
Right.
was just like, give me a
Challenge.
date, I'll start. And it all started off as a challenge. Came the first day, hopped on an erg, had no idea what I was doing. But I stuck with it, and I'm really happy that I did because PCR has not only helped me improve myself as a person, but also academically and also working wise.
Was it harder than you thought it was?
Yes.
What other sports were you involved
I
in?
played soccer for my high school team, and then also basketball.
And it's harder than soccer?
Yes,
Wow, soccer's pretty difficult.
yeah, it is.
Juliana Sada, how did you get involved in the program?
I began rowing in 7th grade. My cousin was on the varsity team, and I'm pretty tall for my age, so she was like, "Oh, I think you'd be really good at it." So I just remember my first day, like looking in the gym and like seeing all the kids lined up on the wall, and I was a little late, so I was like nervous. And the coach walked up to me and she's like, "Oh, are you like, come on in?" And I was like, welcoming. So since I started in 7th grade, and then 9th grade I joined the competitive team, and yeah, I mean I haven't quit
Haven't
since.
looked back since,
Yeah,
right?
I'm addicted.
Sada?
My sister actually used to row for PCR, so my mom got me into it. I was like a little nervous because I've played a lot of sports.
Like what?
Gymnastics,
Nice.
diving, swimming, track.
You did everything.
I
And
did.
now rowing.
Now rowing, I can say, is the hardest sport I've ever played.
Really?
Yes.
What makes it harder?
It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of
Commitment.
dedication. You have to really love rowing and have to want to do it in college. Rowing is 6 days a week. It's like a full body workout.
Right.
I love it though.
Great. So you're going to college?
Yes, I am.
What college?
I was looking at
Go ahead.
Penn State, and then I was looking at Prairie View A&M, and then I'm like, I'm not sure what. I know what I want to do, but I'm not sure what college to go to yet.
Got you. What skills have each of you learned from PCR?
Oh man, I think a lot. Like you learn to be a well-rounded student, to be a well-rounded adult when you graduate. I think it's like PCR itself, they offer so much support, so many volunteer activities. They expose you to so many different people from the city that there's like no way that you can't not like grow and experience everything and be prepared for life once you're out of high school. So.
Right. And you're going to what college?
I plan to go to Drexel.
Drexel.
I've verbally
Almost
committed
the
to their
South.
team. So.
Okay. Good. You already been accepted?
Not yet, not on paper, but I've verbally committed.
Got you.
Yeah. So.
Great. And skills?
Skills, I would say time management, because high school wasn't really the best at managing time.
Right, right.
Always a procrastinator, turning in work, just in the nick of time. It was just like, I'll get it done eventually at the end of the week. But then once I started crew, it was just like, I got an assignment. I was like, I need to get this done now.
Right, right.
Other than that, while coaching, it's helped me so much in the skills of just being more able to put myself in a position where I need to not be quiet, talk to people, try to help others understand like where I'm coming from.
Right, right.
So they can see like a bigger picture. And then also with the maintaining of boats too, a skill that I just started doing this year, which has been very eye-opening, fun, and I love it.
Great. Sada, what skills have you learned?
Before I got to PCR, I was a little shy, but PCR definitely it's such a good community. It feels like family. Like they really helped me branch out and talk to other people, like get my point across, stuff like that. Like they always, the coaches make me feel welcome. The people make me feel welcome. Definitely, people skills, team building, learning how to go above and beyond, even when you feel like this is not for me, this is not my day. I've had a hard day.
Right,
They're leave it at the door type people. If you're having a hard day, leave it before you get on the boat, because when you're on the boat, it's only a team.
That's great.
The only way you're going to make it to the finish line is with the rest of the 7 girls in the boat with you.
So our show is called The Future Leaders in Philadelphia. What would you say are the leadership skills that you've learned?
Definitely, as I said before, managing work, being able to not just talk to your teammates, but also talk to your coaches, branch out and ask for help if you need it, and they'll set you up with people that you can talk to. Like the counselor that's on staff, amazing. When I talked to her about college and all that stuff, we had a sit down about it, and it was just like, I said, these are some of the options that my counselor at school gave me, and she was just like, you could do so much more than that. And I was like, what can I do? And she started helping me out. And then when I came after coaching one summer for the PCR summer camp, and they said, would you like to be in high school? I said, this is an opportunity that, you know, I can't really turn down because I love crew, and if I get to coach for my old team, that's even amazing. And then getting closer to the coaches and sitting down in the same room with them, talking, and just being able to build a bond through the people that I work with, and some of the people that almost had a chance of coaching me if I was in school for like one more year.
Nice. Juliana?
I don't remember the question.
Leadership. So
Oh yeah, sorry.
I know that you're going to be a future leader.
Yeah.
What type of leadership skills?
Accountability, I think, was the biggest thing. Like, you're held accountable. You have to get to practice. Like, they support you, like, but you have to get to practice. You gotta make sure you're up on time to get to practice in the morning on Saturdays. On our girls team, we have captain roles, so we can vote to who's captain, and then even then, if you're voted captain, which I'm co-captain with my friend Sydney French, we're like held accountable to help these girls, like push these girls to be the best that they can be, and like, okay, girls, like let's just like do this, because sometimes you do need, you know, someone pushing you. So we push each other, which is so accountability.
Great. Sada?
PCR, like, they taught me definitely how to branch out to other people and learn how to work with like others who, like, I don't know this girl, but she's on my team now, so now I have to get to know her.
Gotcha.
Like, she's coming from a whole different world as me. Like, if I didn't join PCR, I probably would have never met half of these people. But definitely, like, branching out, networking, getting along with people, showing you, like, there's a whole different side to Philadelphia other than where you're from. And that's definitely something that PCR has taught me.
Great. Mai, what made you decide to get into coaching?
I looked at it as a way of, the team did so much for me when I was on it that I wanted to be able to give back to some of the newer kids that are coming in. And I just wanted to be like, still want to be connected to rowing and not just leave it behind, and I want to just give back.
Great. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on the show, and I'm looking forward to you being future leaders in Philadelphia. We have another quick break, but when we come back, I'm going to learn how to row right here in the studio. Don't go away.
What's up, man?
What's up, Greg? Hello?
Don't be nervous.
Are you the one who's been watching me?
We've been watching you this entire time.
Who is this?
You should already know who's watching you.
What do you mean?
It's us, LaSalle.
LaSalle?
LaSalle TV.
Oh, we are watching LaSalle TV.
Welcome back to Future Leaders of Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. I'm here with members from Philadelphia City Rowing, the LaSalle alum PCR coach, Marcus Brown. Marcus, so tell us a little bit how this rowing thing goes.
So when we're not on the water, which in Philly, if it gets too cold.
Right, right.
Sometimes the water freezes rare, but sometimes it does. Or if we need to do a fitness test or just, judge people how they're progressing, we'll use this machine. It's called the erg, short for ergometer.
Okay.
So what happens is we teach people how to row, and then that monitor right there will give you an output of your power.
Right.
So we can judge people on distance, time, and it's also a good place to do technique because you don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have to worry about the water, the conditions. It's a set apparatus, and it's pretty consistent.
So who do we have here demonstrate?
This is Juliana right here. This is one of our varsity rowers, and going on to be a collegiate rower as well.
So varsity, that means she's a good rower then.
She's good. She's really good.
So let's get a demonstration.
So Juliana, she has her feet in already, so she doesn't have to adjust her feet. She's going to grab that handle. And I always like to teach people from the finish. So she's going to go all the way back. She's going to push her legs down.
Gotcha.
Legs are flat. She's sitting up nice and tall, engaging that core. So, a full body workout. Her hands are pretty much to the chest. And if you look at her, she's not straight up and down. She's a little bit obtuse.
Right.
Or if we're looking at a clock face, a little bit past 12. All right. So from here, she's going to push those hands away. Really, really simple. This chain stays nice and flat. She's going to now get her body over. So now if we were looking at 11 o'clock, now we're looking at 1 o'clock from the shoulders to the hips. And then from here, she's going to keep this nice, strong, this is a great body position because it engages the core, engages the hamstrings. And now she's going to come up with her legs to what we call the catch. So the catch on the water, this is where we put our blades in and we get ready to, to propel that boat. The catch here, you see she's still nice and tall, still relaxing those shoulders. And what I like to tell people, a lot of people don't think about it, you got to use that core. Our core is like our glue. So she's going to now do everything in reverse, all right? The hands came away first, and the body came, and then the legs, so everything's in reverse. The legs went first, the body swung, and then the arms coming back. So she's going to go at real time right now. She's going to go about 18 strokes per minute.
Okay.
And we usually say, sit ready and row. So she's pushing. And this sound right here, once you get around it, it becomes like euphony.
Right.
You can hear it all the time, and this means she's rowing pretty well here. And she's going to take 2 more, and she's going to let it run. That's 1. And 2. She's going to let it run.
All right.
Are you ready to give it a try?
I'm going to give it a try.
All right. We'll have you strap in.
Let's see if I got it right from that demonstration.
You have your feet in. You're going to strap them.
All
you
right.
can grab that handle, and we're going to sit back at that finish, all right?
That's
Legs
right.
flat, bringing that handle into the body.
There we go.
There we go, a little bit taller. And then let's push the hands away first. Body out, body over, and then up to that catch. There you go. And then from here, you just want to push. Good. Good. Pushing those legs. Good. And it's not as loud because, again, she's a varsity rower.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you to my guests from Philadelphia Rowing for being here today. If you would like to find out more about the group, please visit their website at philadelphiacityrowing.org. I am your host, Derek Sawyer. Thank you for watching Future Leaders in Philadelphia, where we believe investing in our youth is investing in our future.